Hi, my name's Troy Allen. I'm the Service Director of Employment Services, and today I'd like to tell you about some of the wonderful things that we do at SRVS to help people get jobs. We represent people with disabilities, but we focus on their abilities. So when a person comes to us and they needs a job, we work with them to make sure we find the absolute best job for them. We have a very person-centered operation where we work with each individual. We make sure that they have demonstrated the skills they need in order to be successful in the workplace. We have over 100 partners in the community, and our promise to our employment partners is that we'll bring people to you who can do the work. Before we take a person to a job interview, we make sure that they demonstrate those skills through an assessment process. So that way we make sure we're matching the right person with the right job and they can have long-term success. There's so much power in employment. It means so much when a person with a disability goes to work. It means that they are now becoming more independent. They can do the things that they like to do. It also frees up their household so that other members of the household can go to work, can go out, and can be part of their community as well. So the impact that we make through employment is such a huge thing that it works so well, and we want to tell you all about it. Our mission and the importance of providing jobs to people with disabilities is that they then become productive members of society. They can make their own money, they can make their own plans, and they can live their own lives. That's very important because for so many years, people with disabilities were not given these opportunities. So we highlight their abilities, we get them the job so that they can regain all of the things they may have lost over the years or start new lives, doing things of interest, and being productive members of their communities. We absolutely focus on a person's ability, not their disability. Even though they may have a disability, they have other marketable skills that can be used. We just have to focus on those abilities so that we can match the right person with the right job. We also provide mentoring to make sure that a person that goes to work is not left alone. We stay there with them as long as they need us. We check on them as many times as they need us, and that happens for the life of the job or for as long as they want it to happen. So we are ongoing support. We fade away, but we never go away. We have some unique supports that we provide at SRVS to make sure that a person with a disability, who again, we focus on their abilities, when they go to work, we make absolutely sure they have the on-the-job support they need. We make sure they have the proper accommodations. We even provide job coaching, which is where we have a person stay there with them, shoulder to shoulder, hand on hand if needed, to make sure that they are getting what they need to be successful at their jobs. Once we're sure they're comfortable, once they express to us that they are comfortable and the employer is happy, we start to fade away. The job coach then becomes a resource and can be called back in whenever necessary, because again, our goal is to make sure we give people opportunities to have long-term success and keep jobs for as long as they like to be involved. Now that you know a little bit about SRVS and our programs and services, we'd like for you to know a little bit about one particular individual first, whose name is Kenny. I've known Kenny since I was a teenager. Kenny and I went to the same high school. Kenny was one of the most impressive people I've ever met. He's doing an outstanding job at Graceland. He's a greeter. He makes sure that people who come for a wonderful experience at Graceland are escorted to the proper places so that they can get pictures to commemorate their visit. Elvis is huge in the world, and he's even bigger in Memphis, and Kenny loves being a part of that. He loves meeting new people. He's doing such an outstanding job. That's the perfect job for Kenny, and his employer loves him.
My name is Kenneth Shies, and at Grace's I take photos of the guests. When I first started, I was a greeter. I used to greet everybody that come back from the mansion, you know, to their photos and show them how to get their photos and things like that in different places where they can go to, you know, to see.
We were looking for extra help. We were short of staff, and I contacted SRV, and I told them we need someone for greeting position, and all we need is like someone standing at the door and greet the people as they come in. There was a person it could be a good fit for the job, and I said, just bring him in. You know, let's try. Let's give him a shot and see how it goes. It was really positive. Like I get a lot of good feedback from Kenny in terms of customer service.
You know, I like talking to people, being around people. I like laughing, you know, the guests, the employees, everybody.
He was so welcoming, warm, friendly, and he was doing a great job in terms of greeting people. And then one day we were short of a photographer, and I asked Kenny if he can do the job. He didn't hesitate. He said, "I'm ready, let's try."
Well, really, I'm just not a person that just want to be sitting around. I like to be busy all the time, doing something, and I like to be independent.
We created a software for him so he can take the picture without using his hands.
At first, I didn't think I can do it. And then Seven put a tablet on that and went from there.
He grabbed the idea, what needs to be done, and he did it.
When I don't have to have people to do this for me and do that, I like to do it for myself. Because really, to me, I don't know, I'm not handicapped, I'm handicapable. I can do just about pretty much anything.
He's dealing with the crowd very positively, and that's pretty much what we expect from a photographer. The interaction with the guests and a good final product, that's what we need. And Kenny is doing all of that.
Some days I might not be able to do it right then, but eventually I will figure out the way to do it.
I can't praise him enough. He's doing an excellent job every day, never fails. His presence enough for us because he spreads that good spirit to everybody.
Well, yeah, I am a people person because I like to interact with people, talking, laughing, joking, It's just me. That's part of my job.
Another great employment partner that we have is Superlow Foods. We have multiple people working at different Superlow locations around the city. Two of them that we're particularly proud of, Amy and Greg. They both work at Superlow. Amy is a cashier. Greg is a customer service attendant. They both do an outstanding job. They've been there for years. Their employer loves them. The community loves them. They have customers who come back to see them because they treat them so well. We're so proud of Amy and Greg.
And this is the first location that I've been at that has served employees, and I've been here going on 2 years now. So Greg and Amy has been here in those 2 years, and they're very dedicated. They come to work when they're supposed to come to work, and they do everything that they're supposed to do. Amy is excellent. She's a cashier. Greg, he's one of our baggers, and he has also been an excellent employee. They make the workplace brighter. They're very sweet people. Greg, anytime he see me and he goes, "That's my beautiful boss. That's my beautiful boss lady." And Amy, she's just always a joy. She likes to sing with one of our other baggers up there that likes to, sing gospel and stuff, and she just likes to do that also. So they're a joy to work with.
I'm a cashier here, which means I help bring up customers with their groceries when they come up to get the groceries hung up. Best thing about working here is getting along with all my coworkers, because we don't ever argue. We get along really well with each other, no arguments.
I think they are valuable employees because, they come to work and they do the job that we need them to do. They go over and beyond the things that, we ask them to do. They make sure their surroundings is clean. They make sure that, everything is done before they leave.
Unfortunately, in the past, people with disabilities have been disenfranchised. They haven't been given the opportunity. Unfortunately, people see or hear the word disability and they think that does not equate into something that a person can actually do. We want to emphasize that people with disabilities have far more abilities and they can do a variety of things. They can add value to the workforce, and in most cases, they just simply need an opportunity. Individuals like Amy, Kenny, and Greg are all doing amazing things at their respective jobs. We are so confident that they will continue to do so, and we are confident that they represent us so well with their abilities, and they continue to be sources of pride for all of us. We are so proud of them. I hope that today you learned a lot about our employment services and the things we do and the people we represent. If you would like more information, if you know someone who needs our services, or you know an employer who might be interested in talking with our staff, please give us a call. Please email us. Our information is here listed below. We would love to hear from you. We would love to make you one of our community employment partners.